Many seniors are unknowingly making a mistake with their daily hydration. Not because plain water is harmful, but because they are missing a simple opportunity to support skin hydration, elasticity, and overall aging comfort through smarter hydration habits. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel, and today I want to talk about something that sounds controversial at first, but becomes very logical once you understand how aging skin and hydration actually work together. Let me be very clear from the beginning. Plain water is not something you should stop drinking. In fact, it is essential for every single system in your body. Your circulation, kidney function, temperature regulation, and even brain performance all depend on it. But what does change with age is how efficiently your body retains and distributes that water. As we get older, the skin becomes thinner, the outer barrier weakens slightly, and natural oil production decreases. This makes it harder for the skin to hold on to moisture. So even if you are drinking enough water, your skin may still appear dry, less elastic, or more prone to fine lines. This is not because water is lacking. It is because the retention system of the skin has changed. Now this is where the misunderstanding often begins online. People assume that adding something to water will somehow transform skin or directly increase collagen. But collagen production happens deep in the dermis and is regulated by long-term biological processes: nutrition, protein intake, vitamin C availability, sleep quality, and overall metabolic health. No drink can bypass that system. However, what you can influence is hydration efficiency. When we talk about hydration in older adults, we are not only talking about how much water you drink, but how well your body maintains fluid balance and how effectively that hydration reaches tissues like the skin. For example, electrolytes play an important role in this process. Sodium, potassium, and magnesium help regulate fluid distribution inside and outside cells. When these are imbalanced, hydration may not be as effective at the tissue level, even if water intake is adequate. This is one reason why some people feel better hydrated when they consume fluids that contain natural mineral balance rather than plain water alone, especially during hot weather, physical activity, or aging-related changes in kidney efficiency. But again, this is not about replacing water. It is about supporting hydration balance. Another important factor is consistency. Hydration works best when it is steady throughout the day, rather than concentrated in large amounts at once. The body absorbs and distributes fluids more effectively when intake is gradual, allowing cells to maintain equilibrium. Now, when it comes to skin appearance, hydration plays an indirect role. Well-hydrated skin tends to look more plump and smooth because water content in the outer layers affects how light reflects off the skin. When the skin is dehydrated, fine lines become more visible simply because the surface loses some of its structural fullness. But this is temporary. It is not collagen regeneration. It is hydration status. This distinction is important because it separates cosmetic effect from structural change. Now let's talk about what actually supports collagen over time, because this is where most confusion happens. Collagen synthesis depends on protein intake, vitamin C, zinc, and overall metabolic health. Your body uses amino acids to build collagen, and vitamin C is essential for stabilizing the collagen structure. Without these, hydration alone cannot improve skin firmness in a lasting way. Sleep also plays a major role. During deep sleep, Growth hormone activity supports tissue repair processes, including skin maintenance. Chronic poor sleep, on the other hand, accelerates visible aging by increasing stress hormones that indirectly affect skin structure. And then there is sun exposure, which is one of the strongest external factors influencing collagen breakdown over time. UV exposure gradually weakens collagen fibers, which is why long-term protection matters more than any single dietary change. So when we bring everything together, the real picture becomes much clearer. It is not about replacing plain water. It is about understanding that hydration is one part of a larger system that includes electrolytes, nutrition, sleep, and skin barrier health. When all of these are aligned, the skin naturally appears more supported, more hydrated, and more resilient. Not because anything is boosting collagen instantly, but because the conditions for healthy skin maintenance are being improved over time. And that is the real key. Not shortcuts, but systems. And continuing from where we left off, it's important to go even deeper into what people misunderstand when they hear advice like, add this to your water for younger skin, or don't drink plain water. Because in reality, the problem is not plain water at all. The problem is how aging changes the body's relationship with hydration, and how easily that gets oversimplified into viral claims. As your body ages, your total body water percentage naturally decreases. This means there is less fluid stored in lean tissue, and the skin becomes more dependent on consistent intake and efficient distribution to maintain its appearance. At the same time, kidney filtration becomes slightly less efficient with age, which affects how quickly fluids and electrolytes are balanced. This does not mean your body cannot hydrate properly. It means the system becomes more sensitive to imbalance. So when people add something to water and suddenly feel better hydrated, what is often happening is not a transformation of skin or collagen. It is a subtle correction in fluid balance, especially if that addition includes minerals or electrolytes. These help water move more effectively between compartments in the body, including the space inside and outside cells. That improved balance can make the skin appear slightly more plump, simply because the outer skin layers are better hydrated at that moment. But again, this is a hydration effect, not a structural change in collagen. And this is where misinformation becomes dangerous, not because hydration is harmful, but because expectations become unrealistic. No beverage can rebuild collagen that has been broken down by years of sun exposure, hormonal changes, and natural aging. What can happen is that better hydration habits support the skin's ability to function at its best possible level for your age. Now let's talk about what actually influences long-term skin firmness, because this is where the real science matters. Collagen is continuously broken down and rebuilt in the body. This is a normal process called collagen turnover. As we age, the balance shifts slightly toward breakdown. That shift is influenced by factors like UV exposure, chronic inflammation, poor sleep, smoking, and nutritional deficiencies. Supporting collagen is therefore not about adding something to water. It is about reducing the rate of breakdown while ensuring the body has the raw materials it needs to rebuild. Protein intake plays a central role here. Collagen is made from amino acids, and without sufficient dietary protein, the body cannot maintain normal repair processes. Vitamin C is equally important because it is required for stabilizing collagen fibers once they are formed. Without it, collagen structure becomes weaker. Minerals, such as zinc, also support enzymatic processes involved in tissue repair. These nutrients work quietly in the background, not as instant fixes, but as long-term support systems. Sleep remains one of the most underestimated factors in skin health. During deep sleep cycles, your body shifts into repair mode. Growth hormone secretion increases, cellular repair processes become more active, and inflammation is regulated more effectively. Poor sleep disrupts this cycle, and over time, the effects become visible in the skin. Stress is another major factor. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which can accelerate collagen breakdown and impair skin barrier function. This is why two people with similar diets can have very different skin aging patterns, because internal stress levels are different. Now, when we bring hydration back into this picture, its role becomes clearer and more grounded. Hydration supports circulation. It supports nutrient transport. It supports skin turgor, the ability of the skin to maintain its shape and elasticity. But it does not override structural aging. This is why drinking enough water consistently throughout the day is far more important than modifying it with trendy additives. The consistency of intake matters more than the composition tricks people often focus on. That said, in certain cases, adding electrolytes may help individuals who struggle with hydration balance, especially older adults, people who sweat heavily, or those with low dietary mineral intake. But even then, the effect is supportive, not transformative. So the real message is simple. Your skin does not need a replacement for water. It needs a stable hydration system supported by nutrition, sleep, and reduced inflammatory load. When those systems are aligned, the skin naturally appears healthier, not because it is being repaired overnight, but because it is functioning under less internal stress. And that distinction is what separates marketing claims from biological reality. And as we conclude this discussion, I want to bring everything into a clear, practical understanding that you can actually use in your daily life without confusion or unrealistic expectations. Because when it comes to hydration, skin aging, and collagen, the truth is far more grounded and far more useful than the viral idea that one simple change to your water can reverse years of aging. Let's start with the most important correction. Your body does not age because you are drinking plain water, and your skin does not improve in any meaningful structural way just because something is added to it. Those are oversimplifications that ignore how deeply complex your physiology actually is. What truly matters is how well your body maintains balance over time. Hydration is not just about intake. It is about distribution, retention, and cellular response. When you drink water, your body does not send it directly to your skin. It first prioritizes blood volume, organ function, temperature regulation, and metabolic processes. Only after those systems are supported does the skin receive what it needs. This is why skin is often one of the first places to show signs of dehydration. It is lower on the priority list. As we age, this prioritization system becomes even more sensitive. The skin barrier becomes thinner, natural oil production decreases, and the ability to retain moisture weakens slightly. So even small fluctuations in hydration, sleep, or nutrition can become more visible. But again, this is not a flaw. It is biology. Now let's bring clarity to the idea of adding something to water. If you add electrolytes or minerals, What you are really doing is supporting fluid balance. That can be helpful in certain situations where hydration is not being effectively maintained. But it does not change collagen production. It does not rebuild dermal structure. And it does not reverse wrinkles. What it can do is improve how hydrated your tissues feel in the short term by supporting more efficient fluid distribution. That difference is important. One is a functional hydration effect. The other is structural aging, which happens over years. Collagen, as we discussed earlier, is influenced by entirely different systems. It depends on amino acids from protein, stabilization through vitamin C, enzymatic activity supported by minerals like zinc, and long-term regulation by hormones and inflammation levels. It is continuously broken down and rebuilt, but the balance shifts with age towards slower regeneration. No beverage can override that system. However, what you can do is create conditions where that system operates as efficiently as possible for your age. That means maintaining steady hydration habits throughout the day instead of irregular intake. It means supporting nutrition with adequate protein and micronutrients. It means protecting your skin from excessive sun exposure over time. It means prioritizing sleep so your body can complete its nightly repair cycles. And it means reducing chronic stress that silently accelerates biological aging processes. When these factors are aligned, something subtle but important happens. Your skin does not become young again, but it becomes more stable. It holds moisture more effectively. It appears more even in tone. It responds better to environmental changes, and it feels more comfortable overall. That is what real skin support looks like. Not dramatic reversal, but improved resilience. So if there is one message to take away from all of this, it is this. Do not chase shortcuts that promise to replace water or instantly rebuild collagen. Instead, focus on strengthening the systems your body already uses every day. Hydration balance, nutrition, sleep, and stress regulation. Because when those systems are supported consistently, your skin reflects it naturally, not through sudden transformation, but through steady, visible improvement in how it functions and feels over time. And that is the most honest and sustainable way to think about aging, hydration, and skin health.